Hey YouTube, I've made my build even more tanky. I'm at 72% armor, which turns into all of my resists thanks to this piece of gear. I've been desperately trying to get something above tier 9, and I'm at a point where the game thinks I should be doing tier 4 maps. I could probably do way harder than 9. I Vaal orbed this one to try to get more difficulty. I cannot get these to drop. So let's go do this random map with all these modifiers and see if it gives us any difficulty. I'm still running a variation on my build. I went down here, got armor, and let's blast. I'll explain more at the end. Okay, that was the map. Oh, finally, tier 10. Ah. Alright, I guess I can start going to the explanation once I clear up this little maps. Let me turn this down just a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on Bonestorm, grabbing a couple armor shredding nodes up here. All this crit. More crit. I'm getting this reduced mana cost so that my health costs go down with Bonestorm. All this crit, cast speed, crit chance. There's a bunch of really strong crit and crit damage nodes here that increase the cost of your spells, which is why I have to run this over here. And then I come all the way down here and pick up all this armor. This armor is really important because the way I'm staying alive in these dungeons is I'm running this plate. This makes my armor apply to elemental damage, and that's really important because I have 0 all resist. This helm is making me have no resistances, and then I get 71% elemental resist just from armor. What's funny is if I take this off, I have so much negative resist. So you could think of this helmet as plus 80 all resist. Now part of the reason my elemental resist is so low is this necklace, which is also giving me minus all resist. But you can't go below 0 when it's exactly 0. So it's a really good combination. I'm using this ring to make my Eye of Winter and Bonestorm chain. This keeps the mobs really easy to fully debuff with the elemental weakness that Eye of Winter puts up. So if I go over here, they take 10% more crit. Ruse, in his latest video, says that's actually added to your base crit, in which case I will have 100% Bonestorm crit. I don't know what the actual, if it's after or beginning, but either way, my current Bonestorm crit chance is 60%. That adds another 10%, so it either goes to 70% or it's at 100%. I don't know, but it's awesome. The health from the crit damage from Gore Spike is not shown in this calculation. So I should have about an extra 120 crit chance. This entire time, I have not been using Vitality Siphon. Most of the map, I'm running around with 5,000 HP. Thanks to overflowed health due to Sanguimancy. Sanguimancy, when you crit, you produce an orb that then you have to go into melee range to collect. This is why I'm built like a fucking brick wall. I don't want to die when I'm in melee. And if you keep your Bonestorm mana costs low enough, you will stay at overflowed health. If you're relying on Leech, that means you're not taking advantage of having that overflowed health, and you're losing a ton of damage. So my Bonestorm currently only costs 110 mana per second. This is thanks to the Inspiration Rune, thanks to this reduced mana cost, and I'm not running projectile skills on my necklace. I'm running this one instead. This is arguably about as much damage, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It doesn't matter. What's important about this necklace is that it doesn't increase the mana cost of Bonestorm. If I were to use a regular, like, +2 projectile neck, my Bonestorm mana cost goes up by like 40%. It's absolutely insane. So for links, I just have +1 skill level, so I still do have +1 skill level. Faster cast speed. Inspiration is critical. And then just something that increases damage that doesn't increase the cost. Eye of Winter, I have Unleash, so that when I cast it, it casts 3 of them, which instantly full stacks the crit weakness. I'm still figuring out what to do with the other stuff. I threw Ricochet. I could put another chain here. Skeletal Warriors, I'm just trying to make them big and beefy because I am using them as kind of a defensive layer. They just run around and aggro stuff and they alert me of mobs that are off screen by aggroing them, and then those mobs, now that I have the information of where they are, I don't get hit by them. So that's why I'm running Warriors. They're just meat shields. This was supposed to be on Eye of Winter. Okay. Clerics, just to keep my warriors up. Bone Cage, I'm using with Astral Projection. Prior to Eye of Winter, it was a little bit more handy. You can, when you're in a tight map and you need to get through a doorway, sometimes you can, like, let's say this is a little short doorway and there's a bunch of mobs on the other side. Bonestorm will actually, like, hit the wall and not a lot of its damage will go through. So sometimes what I'll do instead is I'll be in a doorway and I'll just spam Bone Cage until I can get a Detonate Dead roll going to clear everything for me. Back to links. Profane Ritual. I'm going to put mobility back on that. Profane Ritual is just used to pick up power charges. I'm using the lowest rank available just to get the mana cost low. Extra power charges. Less skill effect duration, so it comes up quicker when I cast it. And mobility, so that when I'm just running through mapping, it doesn't slow me down as much when I'm just trying to move. Detonate Dead, basically, if you can socket at Detonate Dead on any class, you should always socket Detonate Dead. Apparently that 20% of the mob's health scales with spell power, so it's like 60% of the mob's health. And you throw Spell Echo and it does it again. So you kill one mob, you push this button, and the whole pack will die. I'll be surprised if it doesn't get a nerf, but right now it feels really amazing, so I hope they don't nerf it just because it's fun to use. You just make it have more area, and then you make it have a chance to not use a corpse, so that you have more usages. Soul Offering, I'm running into some issues keeping up, because it has like 300 HP. But one of the things about Soul Offering is it looks like you can sacrifice a mob, and then you don't have to be within radius of it. You can be like over here and cast. So if you just blow people up and then just keep running and use it on your first spell, you'll get a kill. Then you can pop a Detonate Dead, and or if you know you're about to Detonate Dead a bunch, you get Soul Offering and then you Detonate Dead, and the world dies. Font of Blood, because there's not much better to put on it. And more duration, just so you keep it up. I'm trying out Hammer of the Gods, but it has one major usability problem. So I'm just slamming whatever damage I can put on it. Oh, not supposed to have Brutality on it, rip. But if you cast Hammer of the Gods, and then start casting something else, it's really easy to animation cancel. So if I press it, and then if I press it, and then press something else, it never casts. So I really wish there was an option to just, like, don't animation cancel Hammer of the Gods specifically. It's really annoying. I don't really need it. I could swap it out for anything else. Maybe a mobility skill. Doesn't matter. I do have shield block as well, but, like, I'm such a beefcake, I don't really need to use it. Once again, my defenses are just armor, turns into all resist, and then block. Great. And when I first come into a dungeon, I'm a little squishy, for that first like 10 seconds until I get to overflowed health, and then I just don't care. I'll be testing this soon again with this tier 10 Waystone, and as I get higher tier Waystones, I'll make another video. One of the nice things about not needing all resist is you can find gear on the trade site that doesn't have any resist. You can just focus on armor and max life wherever you can find it, and chaos resist. And it's not as contested because everyone else is like desperate, super hungry for resist all. But you don't care about resist all. So it's much easier to gear. This ring is amazing. It gives you either fork or chain. I'm currently finding that chain is working better. And this is just a random ring. Extra health so that when we do somehow drop below our 100% max life, we just want to get up there quick. And I barely use this mana potion, but whatever. And the deadliest thing to me is freeze. If I wasn't recording this video right now, I'd be running one of these that says like extra magic find or something. But if I'm trying to just make sure I don't die, I just throw freeze on and I'm fine. Since the hit on ignite and shock, the dot effect are based off of the initial hit, by having armor block the initial hit by 71%, the dots don't really matter. There was a map I did where there was just fire on the floor. Like, let's say that's the floor. And when I walked over it, it deleted me. Like, my health just, I could not stay overflowed health that whole map. So that might be a bug, but armor did not appear to be blocking that damage. Either that or that damage is just absolutely overtuned. I'm not sure which. Another great thing about your resists being 0 is anytime there's a map that has a negative modifier of like -15 all resist, I'm still at 0. It can't affect me. So this is an in-game build. Do not build this starting off. Starting off, just run like a chaos starter, grabbing this chaos node, and essence drain, and you'll be set. There's one on the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, let me show you that Discord. Do this every video, so if you know what's coming, it's going to be the same view. Go to display. So this is the Path of Exile Discord. I'm very, very much a boomer, or maybe it just updated. I don't know what just happened, but it just updated or something. Okay. So, on the Path of Exile Discord, this is discord.gg/Path of Exile. This might as well be the official Discord. It's where the devs actually hang out. You can go to PoE2 Build Help and look up which tips for dad gamers. And I have an active discussion. I have a bunch of links to useful stuff. I have a visual of my starting guide. And some of this is out of date. I've had to actually just, play the game. And I'm going to be linking to other content creators who have good guides. But some of this is out of date just because I needed to make more content myself. But you can always get your questions asked either in my Witch Tips for Dad Gamers. There's also the Church of Sorceresses and Witches, run by Zelastia, who is like a super, super helpful person. They helped me with a lot of my early build planning in the PoE2 build planning thread. So, join up, have fun, like, subscribe, follow. I stream every now and then, and you can catch me on Twitch, either at, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can find me there, but my Twitch is twitch.tv/scribbler. Okay. That's my Twitch. Have a great day. And figuring out what I'm live streaming. See ya.